Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so this is going to be a post commentary for this run, because I didn't do voice recording live of any commentary, because I didn't really feel like it. The thing is, with doing live commentary for these runs, because I do so many, like in a row, and there's some things in the beginning that I have to mention every time, I end up repeating myself a lot, and that can get really annoying if I have to do enough early resets in a row. So I decided to do a lot of runs without commentary instead, and then in case I get a PB, then I'll do this post commentary. And the reason I put in the effort to actually do this is that I noticed that my records get quite a few views for my standards, and there's a few people that actually like watching them, so I thought I'd put in the effort, because I know that watching runs without commentary isn't that entertaining. For example, recently someone I watched named Punkation got a world record in 70 star in Super Mario 64, and I'm probably not going to watch it because he always uploads his runs without commentary. So yeah, that first level is one that level is just an intro level. You can't really, well, you can lose time there, but you'd have to like go out of your way to do it. This level is also basically an intro level. This first movement is kind of difficult. You can easily lose time here. I don't really remember how well I did it. This run is from 2 days ago, so I don't remember every detail. Yeah, okay, that was kind of slow. But as long as you like don't throw the knife and then like hit the door frame, you're fine, because like if you hit the door frame, the guy gets alerted, and you have to throw another knife at him. Actually, in general, you really need to kill him with a knife, because if you don't, then you don't get to pick up an AK, which you need for the end of this level. At the end of this level, the guy can, if you kill him at a certain spot in this rolling animation, he can slide to the left. We'll see if it happens. I don't think it does. No, okay, so that guy will slide very far to the left, and if that happens, you can pick up his key. Well, obviously his keys are then also in the spot where his body is, and then he's closer to the car, so you save time if that happens. But it doesn't happen too often. So, I should also mention that I started using an auto splitter recently, which basically just checks for the level complete box on your screen, and then when it sees it, it just hits your split button that you have set in LiveSplit. So it's like an external program. It's like not integrated into LiveSplit. And so anyway, yeah, it splits as soon as it sees the box. And I used to split as soon as that box disappears. And because of that, okay, and also, some of the boxes stay on screen for 1.5 seconds, and some of them, like on certain levels, it's different. On some levels they stay on screen for 1.5 seconds, and on some they stay on screen for 2.5 seconds. And because of that, some splits are now either a second longer or shorter, if that makes sense. And so I changed my goals according to that. And now, some of my goals were longer than that level took with like the old comparison in my PB. And so I removed those splits to make sure that my sum of best is accurate. And that's why you can see missing splits there on the right. I hope that made sense. That's also that's like one thing that I had to explain like every run when I did live commentary. And I hope that explanation was understandable. I didn't pay any attention to how good that was, by the way. Do I explain that trick? I don't know, I feel I've explained. Did I explain it before in PBs? I'm not sure actually. I don't know. I'll do it next time or something. So in this section, it's the most important thing is just to get to this next room, because as soon as we enter this room, like a cutscene starts that we have to wait for, and then while this cutscene plays, we kill these enemies, or they kill each other apparently, and then we pick up the ammo. We only really need one bullet for this level, and you don't carry over ammo to the next one, in this case. So you don't really have to pay attention to how much ammo you get from them. But it's nice to have a full magazine, of course. In case you like miss a billion shots or something, I guess. It's really easy to miss this keycard here, but yeah, or like bump on something, but yeah, that wasn't the worst thing ever. That was really good. Sometimes I like slightly miss that elevator button, lose like half a second or a second, but that was like perfect. I should also mention about the auto splitter that since it now splits at the start of the box instead of at the end, it will look like I'm slightly further ahead than I actually am for the entirety of the run. So that's why it looks like I'm 1.9 seconds ahead. Instead of only like slightly ahead. So yeah, overall there was a pretty good Winslow Bank. It's not gonna be close to gold because my gold had like a specific thing happen that I don't feel like explaining right now. That's pretty rare, that saves like a second. Actually, I'll explain it, why not? Okay, so on the flashback in that level, okay, when you get to the end of it, sometimes, very rarely, like I'd say like 1 in 50 times maybe, it like ends a second sooner than it normally does for no reason. No reason that I know of, at least. And yeah, I had that happen in my gold split, so that's why it's basically unbeatable without that happening. But if I did have that happen, I could probably beat it by a pretty decent amount. But it's just way too rare. Way too rare. I should stop saying the word rare so often, because I feel like I'm really bad at pronouncing it. But whatever. Okay, so you may have noticed that this level has a really long cutscene at the beginning, and this cutscene is actually about 60% of my time in this level, because the actual like running through it only takes a minute. So you might think this level is really bad, like really annoying in a speedrun or something, but it really isn't. You really don't notice how long this cutscene is, in my opinion. You really just think about other stuff. And okay, that was really bad. I crouched way too early there. I just remembered that I did that. Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, the reason I actually kind of like this level is I noticed that the movement is actually pretty difficult to do perfectly. Like opening door, like you have to turn corners as tightly as possible, and open doors like on the first frame possible so you don't get stuck on them as long, and stuff like that. And yeah, I just kind of enjoy that on this level, because on this level you don't have to like worry about death or anything. You really just have to focus on your movement. And yeah, I lost quite a bit of time there actually because I crouched way early and stuff. I feel like I'm not as good as talking right now as I sometimes am doing live commentary, because in this case I know it's gonna go on YouTube, and when I do live commentary I like don't. But yeah. So this level, we basically have to follow this lady the entire time. Her name is Jones, and basically what we try to do here is, because all of the progress in this level is based on her movement, we try to make her move as quickly as possible. She basically just moves from station to station, so to speak. And certain events make her trigger trigger her to start moving. I feel like I phrased that poorly, but yeah. For example, killing these two enemies here will make her move to the next thingy. And so that's really the main way of optimizing this, because we can't hit any checkpoints early because they're all based on her position. For example, this guy right here actually makes her move, and that's why we turn around like that and shoot him. Before we used to do that, I was always confused why it sometimes takes her way longer to move down here and progress the level. And then one day, I think it was I who found that, but I might be wrong, realized that it's actually his death that makes her move. And because she sometimes misses him and sometimes hits him, that's why it sometimes takes her longer to move, because she just misses and so she doesn't continue walking. This next room, we kill all the two guys in it with a grenade. I use the visual cue to time it. I look at when her hand hits the door. Apparently some people use the noise that her picking the lock makes. Also, she's at 43% HP right here. Sometimes she's at full health for some reason, sometimes she's really low. It could be a thing with the timing of the grenade, but it doesn't feel like it. But I'll refrain from commenting on it. I think I know why it is, but I missed the spot where it's most convenient to explain that, so I'll pass. Maybe next run or next video or something I'll explain it. Actually, that kind of seems like a thing that would be good to explain in a separate video that's a minute long or something. I feel like this burning guy has a really funny voice in some languages, but I don't know which ones. I never really paid attention to it, I just heard it from other people. Wait, maybe that's why French is the best language. Anyway, so on this ending part, we have to kill 4 enemies. And some people like to do it with a revolver and some like to do it with a sniper rifle. The sniper rifle is more consistent, but the revolver can do it more quickly in theory if it goes perfectly, so I used the revolver. In this case I had to reload, but the reload didn't really lose any time. So I think it was a good choice in this case. And it saved time. The reason we killed that guy is he also makes Jones move. Those other 2 guys are relevant that I shot in the end there. So yeah, I lost half a second to gold on roofs, which is pretty good. I usually lose at least 2 seconds to gold on that level, just from missing enemies and stuff. I think it doesn't come across how easily you can lose time on that level in my PBs, because last PB I golded roofs, and in this one it's also good again. Okay, so I should have mentioned on that spot, those two guys, you really want their ammo for the rest of these levels. In this case I'm gonna get one magazine, which is really, it's enough that you don't have to worry. Yeah, that guy's magazine. A lot of the time you don't get either of their magazines, and you can, depending on this next level, that will either be completely fine, or you will get completely screwed. Luckily in this case I don't really have to worry about it.
¿Pero qué hacéis? ¿Estáis locos? ¡Ah! ¡No! Abrid las cajas y empezad a colocar las armas. Hay que cargarlo todo en una hora. ¡Moved el culo!
Okay, so in this level, there's a major element of RNG, which is I have to use this pistol to shoot this generator, and the pistol is inaccurate. So sometimes you shoot your entire magazine at that generator, and you just don't hit it because you're unlucky. But in this case, 4 bullets is probably above average. So that's nice. And if you miss your entire magazine, then you have to get out the crossbow, and each shot at it with the crossbow costs like 3 seconds or so. So that's a pretty big time loss. Actually, it's kind of a medium-sized time loss, now that I think about it. A big time loss would be like dying and losing a minute, I guess. Also, I should have used my remaining pistol ammo on some of those guys I just killed with the assault rifle, I think. Actually, I think I only have like 5 bullets, I take that back. Yeah, 5, right? Oh, I don't even use my pistol on this guy, check. Terrible. Wait, I wonder how much... I think I used 4 on the first guy and then another 4 on the generator, so I should have 5. Also, I recently died from 4 damage on that spot. I managed to miss that slope and then I just died. And I think it was a good run even. So yeah, now I'm on best place ever, as you can see in the bottom right corner. By 1 whole second. This is the first time ever that I got a sub 18 Emerald 2. That's nice. Yeah, ammo situation, about 60 bullets, that's really about as much as you can ask for. With this much ammo I shouldn't have any issues for the rest of Emerald, and I shouldn't need to pick up any extra backup ammo. Now, for exiting this vent, I found a strat that I think is slightly faster. Instead of just holding W, you can hold W and A to like move diagonally, and then you don't bonk on the ceiling like that. The way I avoided doing that in this case. Usually I pick up armor from that guy, but in this case I destroyed all his armor, so that means I'm gonna lose a bit more health in the rest of this level, but shouldn't really matter since I have so much health anyway. Sometimes I have like 30 health at this point, but in this case it shouldn't be an issue. Checkpoint reset there is to reset the cycle of the electricity on this next hope drop here. If I don't do that, it will I will have to wait for it to disappear. In that room we ignore the 2 enemies because they really don't do any damage to us. In the other category, 30%, which is basically hard mode, we definitely have to kill those guys, but in this case we don't. This guy spawning in the back and not where I'm standing right now means that I can immediately take up the key card, or equip the key card I should say, to open the door instead of having to kill him, which saves a bit of time. But if he is in the other spot where I have to kill him, that means I can pick up his ammo, which can actually be better in a lot of cases. But in this case I didn't need ammo, so this was the right thing. This flashback right here sometimes just doesn't end. I'm not entirely sure why it happens, but I will... Okay, it happened to me twice so far. I think I may... I will upload the clips of that happening if someone wants to see it. I know on the second one, the like regular level music started playing in the middle of the flashback. As if like an enemy saw me while I was in the vent or something crazy like that. It was quite strange.
Tenga, es un intercomunicador.
So yeah, health situation is great, actually. Ammo situation is also pretty good. Yeah, ammo situation is good, yeah. I wonder about the 90 bullets entering the next level, and I can pick up 2 more magazines over the rest of this level.
Oye, Grandmillón, ven aquí. Tengo que mear, deprisa. Será mamón. Voy a matarle.
When you're slow, you can actually get that second guy's ammo, because he will be a lot further down the hall, so you won't have to stop to pick it up. And also, even if... I'm not entirely sure on this, but I think even if you do have to stop to pick it up, I don't think you will lose any time, because I think Carrington immediately exits that room as soon as you leave it. Or like early enough that he will be walking while you are picking up the ammo. This is one of the more difficult levels in the game. It's difficult to do this opening quickly without like losing any time, and being able to reload as like early enough that yeah, if you reload too late, then you won't be able to shoot by the time you get to the next room of enemies. Also, the key, it's always the last of those guys that you kill that will have the key card. So we routed it in such a way that the guy that is closest to the building with the fuse will be the last guy we kill. That is also difficult. A lot of the time I don't manage to kill all those guys, or I have to like spend time making sure that they're all dead. But in this case it worked out pretty much perfectly. There's a new strat, well not new since the last run, but still pretty recent. On this last part here, where I can kill this guy while he's still on the roof, and then kill this guy like this. And I don't have to wait for the second guy to like walk down the stairs and open the door. And that also makes it so Carrington doesn't like hide behind that wall right there. And I'm not sure how much it saves. I think it saves like 5 seconds actually. It's quite a bit. Now we have to do a hook drop. I often die from fall damage here. This is actually like kills a significant amount of runs for me. But in this case, it worked out. I think I actually felt like I hooked early in this run, but I was really close to the ground already, so yeah. My intuition on that jump isn't very good. You don't really have a good visual cue in this level for the hook drop. In some other levels it's pretty easy. But in this one, I mean, you have like the sky and like snow.
Sí, adelante.
And in other levels, you have like this ceiling room that... Actually, I don't know how to describe that. I'll retract that statement. Basically, this level is similar to roofs. We just want to make character movement as quickly as possible, and the way of doing that is by just killing all these enemies quickly. In a lot of cases, you can like miss a shot and you won't lose any time because you like won't be at his next station. There must be a better word for station. Maybe like waypoint? I don't know. Actually, I don't know what the word waypoint means. I feel like I heard it like... the only place I ever like heard that word before is like... Well, I've ever seen that word before is like on my Nintendo DS or something. Huh. Right here we use the sniper rifle at first instead of the large machine gun, because the sniper rifle like has more range. So we can kill these two guys before we would normally be able to. And that makes these guys spawn more quickly and stuff. Yeah, that ending was okay except for the missed shot. Still I lost 2 seconds to gold. So yeah, 9 seconds ahead after Emerald. Best place ever by 2.5 seconds. I'd say this run is pretty good. But in this level, I will have to do the most difficult trick in the entire game, in my opinion, which is called Dorothy's Skip Skip. Named after the cutscene skip which it skips, which was called Dorothy's Skip. Yeah, this trick is really difficult and inconsistent for me. I wouldn't recommend learning it if you're planning on running this game, because I have a pretty low success rate with it and it only saves 8 seconds over the old method, which was 100% consistent for me. So basically all we have to do is hit a slope jump, but the slope jump is very, very precise. And there isn't a good setup for it, so I just run at this wall and I hope that I get up there. And in this case it worked first try. So yeah, that saves 8 seconds. But every time you fail it, you lose like 3 seconds. And a lot of time I lose like 20 seconds because I try to go for it. And it made a lot of runs a lot worse than they really had to be. Also, when doing that jump you can very easily fall out of bounds. Yeah, this was a gold by 1 frame, by the way. So that's nice. What was I gonna say? Yeah, you can easily fall out of bounds there. And if you do fall out of bounds, you lose like 10 seconds. Because you have to die. And then restart at the checkpoint, which is luckily right before that. So if you fall out of bounds once, then you immediately lost time because you went for it. Yeah, that jump isn't fun. Speaking of not fun, this level has the most amount of RNG in this entire run. So basically we have to kill a bunch of enemies. And sometimes they just don't feel like spawning for no good reason that I know of. So you just like sit there for 20 seconds or so, if you're unlucky, and just wait for an enemy to show up that should have showed up a long time ago. And you can lose like 40 seconds to that. One time I lost 40 seconds on this level, and then I PB'd. So that run would have been absolutely amazing if that hadn't happened. And I would actually, that would have been my first world record if that hadn't happened. Truth hurts.
Es posible que descubran tu doble juego.
By the way, I'm on best pace ever by 6.5 seconds. That's actually insane. Because my best pace ever on this level that I had before this was already really good. Yeah, this run really doesn't have any time losses up to this point. Only like a second on beach and a second, or like half. Yeah, I guess like a second on FBI. So that's like 2 seconds of time loss. I wonder if I check how far behind some of best I am after this level. So yeah, let's see whether or not I get lucky. Okay, so far so good. I killed a helicopter right here like this because... Okay, I made the helicopter explode instead of killing the guys in it. Because killing the helicopter, the helicopter like despawning is what makes these voice lines start playing, and I have to wait for these voice lines to finish before I can finish the level. Or like, I guess go to the next area with my accurate. So yeah, right now there's still 2 guys missing here on the left. One more. All the voice lines finished playing, by the way, so every second right here is just straight time loss. Straight up time loss. And that's the final voice line. So yeah. Yeah, this lost quite a bit of time. I won't spoil how much yet. At this point I'm unsure whether or not I'm still ahead. But at this point I know that I'm still in the green, but sadly no longer on best price ever. So yeah, now I lost 16 seconds to sum of best on color 2, which is very unfortunate. But I'm still in the green, which is pretty rare. I'm trying to think about like how many green runs after color 2 I've had since my PB. I'm not sure. I think this might be my 3rd one. I know one that was like way ahead, and I know one that was like 3 seconds ahead, and I can't think of any other ones. But there have been like 18. Yeah, there have been 89 runs since then. So I guess I probably forgot about like a few of them. But most of the time after this level I'm in the red by like 10 seconds or more. So yeah, I guess that shows how good this run is. This is one of the longest cutscenes in the game. It's more than 2 minutes. You just kind of have to wait. So basically, 2 levels before this we had the hardest trick, then we had the most amount of RNG. Now we have 2 minutes of waiting. Okay, okay, hardest trick, 2 minutes of waiting for the cutscene, most amount of RNG, another 2 minutes of cutscene, and then after this we have another difficult trick. Well, actually it's not that difficult if you know how to do it, but I still fail it from time to time. Okay, I'm just gonna commit to calling like the places that NPCs go, like move between. I'm just gonna call them waypoints from now on. So basically, this guy that's in front of me right now, I'm gonna let him hit me, which makes him stop for a second. And that movement, that delay is gonna cause him to not reach the proper waypoint he's supposed to be in when he's in this cutscene. And the way I think it probably works, although I don't know how the insides of this game actually work, is when this cutscene ends, it tells him to the next time he reaches a waypoint, he's supposed to open the door that's behind me right now. And now he reached the waypoint he's supposed to be in when the cutscene starts, and so he just opened the door, despite the fact that he was still very far away from it. Normally you have to wait for him to walk all the way towards the door and like open it with his bare hands. But we make him use his mind powers to do it, which saves about 5 seconds. This movement here on these events is pretty fun, by the way. I'd recommend it. But if you fall down, then is the run dead if you fall down? I mean, you lose a lot of time and you take a lot of damage. Probably enough damage to just straight up die in this level. Because I even die in this level a lot if I don't fall down. Partly because I have to take damage from the guy hitting me. But yeah, also in this level you can easily lose time by opening doors slowly because you pick up the key while you're already too close to the door. And so while equipping it, you just stand in front of the door and like wait, instead of doing it by running towards the door. Yeah, my health situation is really good. Well, we're already say it's really good. Yeah, I guess it is really good. I don't have to worry about dying in this level at this point. Especially if they're missing me like that. Yeah, sometimes like I'm like here with like 10 HP and I just start sweating. This is the longest level in the game, by the way, because of the opening cutscene and because of having to wait for the guards to slowly escort you. Gold! And this was a gold by 5 frames, I think. Yeah, it's the only level in the game that's longer than 5 minutes. This level... this level it's important to pick up revolver ammo at the start because you need it for the boss fight in itself. This one has the first boss fight of the game, by the way, which is quite exciting. Also probably the most difficult one. So yeah, I have to wait here to pick up his ammo. And I move a bit awkwardly to make sure I pick up all their ammo without having to stop. So that I can run past these 2 guards with shotguns without them blocking me. I think I missed this jump. No, I didn't? I guess that was a different run. Wow. They just all start like blending together, you know? Okay, so coming up is the Johansson boss fight. The thing about the Johansson boss fight is that he moves around very uncontrollably. And the issue with that is that it takes 17 headshots to kill him. And since my magazines have 6 bullets in them, I can only miss 1 bullet or I will have to reload an extra time, which costs a few seconds. So hopefully I don't have to do that, and he will be nice. But he just starts rotating around me for no good reason. Usually if you like don't move sideways, he's calm. But in this case he just started to just go ham. despite me like standing still. Maybe you're like not supposed to stand still, but
El
I
santuario.
don't know. I've never had that issue before.
Zonas escondidas detrás de números.
Wait, did I read out an extra time there? I wasn't paying attention. I think I did. I guess I'll speed from my ammo count. If I have fewer than 6 bullets, then it means I had to reload. Okay, so now we have the first spot in the game where I pick up a hostage. And now I drop her. And yeah, that's the only spot in the game where we pick up a hostage. And it's just because picking her up makes the door open more quickly. Doors open more quickly. I didn't pay attention to my ammo, but I'm pretty sure I had to reload because I went out of my way to pick up that guy's ammo that was on the ground. Yeah, and on these next levels I don't have to worry about my ammo count because I just get to pick up so much in that level for free that it doesn't matter. At the start of this level, I have to use that. I have to immediately equip that hook to like hook myself up there. And you cycle through that sub menu with F, like by repeatedly pressing the F key. And sometimes I equip that hook if I press the F key once, and sometimes I equip it if I press it twice. And I'm not sure why it varies. And I'm never sure how many times I have to press it, and for like the last 10 times I got here in runs. Oh, I missed triangle jump? Wow. That jump shouldn't be difficult at this point. The jumps I do in this level, by the way, are pretty difficult for beginners, but I just play this level like over 100 times at this point, so I don't really have issues with them anymore. I just get them every time. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is just keep practicing and you'll get good at them eventually. Well, I lost 4 seconds on Canyon. Might actually be able to save time then. Wow. I was gonna say something. Ah, I can't talk. I was gonna say something about Canyon, but I forgot about it because I missed triangle jump. Terrible. Oh yeah, the hook. Yeah, sometimes I have to press the button once, and sometimes I have to press it twice, and I can't tell when I have to press it, which number of times. And like the last 10 times I got there, I always pressed it the wrong amount of times. And it's kind of infuriating, to be honest. But yeah, not sure what to do about it. If anyone figures that out, please tell me. I think it might have to do with what order you pick up a lockpick and hookshot in on the previous level, but I'm just guessing really. So yeah, Canyon 02 was pretty good.
Gold!
I think this was a fake gold, if I remember. Actually, I can check if it's a fake gold. Hold on. I think this tied my gold. No it didn't. Oh, never mind then. Oh yeah, I think I got another gold split later in the run, and that one was fake. Yeah. I think that was also a gold by 1 frame, but I'm not sure. By the way, in this spot, this guy on the left here sometimes also shoots you. And if he does that, then you just kind of die and lose 40 seconds. So luckily that didn't happen. Going up there immediately and letting them shoot you skips a cutscene, which saves like 20 seconds. So really, you like need to go for it if you're going for a tough time. Another benefit of skipping that cutscene like that is that you get to pick up all their ammo, which, I mean, both of those guys for some reason have 2 magazines, which means you get to pick up a serious amount of assault rifle ammo. I feel like that was not a fitting adjective to use there, but whatever. So now I have like 100 assault rifle bullets that I normally wouldn't have, which is gonna come in handy because I will need to pick up less later. Less ammo, that is.
No recuerdo el nombre. ¿Qué pasó con él? Lo último que vi es que
So if you haven't noticed it yet, what we do in stealth levels is we just kind of run through and kill everyone that could notice us. And for some reason that just works. So, I'll take it. We never ever move a body in this game in a stealth level. It's actually kind of crazy how well it works out. For example, on this part, they would probably notice his body at some point, but as soon as I go in here and trigger the checkpoint, all the guys in that area just despawn. That body's never noticed. This body is... maybe no. Actually I think that body is noticed later, but I'm gonna point out when it happens. Yeah, this guy's also never noticed. I'm not sure if I lose time placing this bug because I equip it pretty late. I don't think I did. Maybe a little bit. So now I check whether I reload my assault rifle because I need to make sure it's reloaded when I get to the next part of this level. For now, there's a 2-minute cutscene. This cutscene, I would like to point out, is the last part in the run where you can like leave your computer and like get something to drink or like go to the toilet quickly. In all of the remaining long cutscenes in this game, you actually have to like move, and in this one you don't. I think this is also the first important document to pick up in this run, except for like the ones in bank that are unskippable. The important document we picked up during this cutscene is the sniper document, which just makes it so that when you zoom in with the sniper rifle, you like your mouse doesn't shake, or you don't have to wait for your mouse to stop shaking. Which doesn't really save any time, but picking up the document doesn't lose any time, so I mean, why not just grab it, you know? Also, there's a large medkit next to it, which we definitely need. Yeah, that medkit is important. I mean, I guess it's not that important, we could just pick up another extra one. That's like right on the way, but that would lose like 2 seconds, and I can't lose 2 seconds, dude. 2 seconds is a lot of time. Okay, so here... oh, I forgot to point out when they noticed the body. God damn it. It's just so natural to me to see that alarm pop up during the cutscene. Yeah, you can run in that door when they open it and the mission won't fail before you hit the checkpoint. This spot is why I had to reload the assault rifle. If I hadn't reloaded, I wouldn't have been able to kill those guys immediately after reloading the checkpoint. Because I can't reload quickly enough before I'm already next to them. Do you understand here? Yeah, slightly. Okay. In the other category, which I mentioned earlier, in 30%, this level is really difficult to survive. But luckily we're playing any percent, which is basically just easy mode. And so it's not really an issue. In most cases. Sometimes you just get unlucky and need to pick up the extra medkit that I mentioned earlier. Which is in this room, by the way, it's on the right here. There. I was pointing at my screen as if you could see it. Terrible. Yeah, in this case I thought I probably don't need it. I really only pick up that medkit if I know that I need it. Which usually I don't. These two assault riflenates, we used to use them on McCall, which is the boss fight of this level. But we stopped. I stopped. And when I say we stop doing that, what I mean is I stopped doing it because I'm the only person that runs any percent at the moment. That submits runs anyway. So, okay, instead of killing with an assault rifle mate, there's a new strat, which I'm not sure was in the last record. Actually, yeah, okay, I think it was in the last record, but okay, what I do is I shoot an assault rifle magazine, and then I switch to the M60 and kill him with that. We didn't just use the M60 like at all in any percent, because it makes you move very slowly. But in this case, it doesn't really matter, because while jumping, you like don't get slowed down. So yeah, I came up with that, and that saves an assault rifle. When that was really bad. Nice move from DerKenste. And we're gonna use those to our benefit later. This is actually the longest set of levels in the game, where you don't get your ammo count like reset, so to speak. You carry over ammo between 8 levels on this part of the game. And we're gonna use those air grenades on the very last level of this section. This guy right here has a normal grenade, which I need later. I'll probably forget to mention it, but yeah. There's a few things I could have mentioned about that room, and I was like thinking about which one to mention, and now I'm already past the room, so guess I won't mention any of them. Coming up here is the submarine, and the next 2 levels will be playing inside of it, and well, now we have to first get on top of it, and we're gonna do that like this instead of using the normal ladder, because it turns out just walking on land is a bit faster than doing dolphin jumps in the water. Okay, so this is the easiest level, as my splits say. It's actually not. This level can kill a lot of runs, because while getting through this part here without getting noticed is pretty difficult, and if you get spotted here you lose 20 seconds because you have to reset the level. But luckily I did not get noticed, so that's nice. Yeah, but it's not over yet. I can still lose my 20 seconds in a different spot. PB actually failed this in a faster way, so I do have time save here. Okay, if I get... yeah, I got in there quickly enough. So I didn't have to do the backup strat, which would have lost me the 20 seconds.
Resolute AFDM-10. Cambio.
I explain why the backup strat, like how it works, but I just don't have the time in a live commentary, sadly. Okay, so here we pick up this extra ammo here, because we're pretty short in ammo, and we need it for these next few levels. Usually you wouldn't have any ammo troubles here in any. We used to never have any ammo troubles here, but we stopped picking up assault rifle ammo boxes in submarine base, so now we have to pick up that ammo there. Okay, so here I do a strat where I get stuck on this door while the fight starts. Also, there's a guy shooting me with a pistol, but it's just a pistol, so it doesn't matter. And what this does is, as soon as the fight starts, I'm gonna run at him and shoot a magazine in his face, killing him instantly. Which, well, unless the door doesn't open and he just blocks it. Which sometimes happens. He just, like, blocks the door because he wants to attack you. And then you're both trying to open the door from from either side. So yeah, that lost time there. Normally the door would just open and then you just open the door and then just run straight at him and kill him. The reason that getting stuck in the door like that is faster is normally I would be around here when the fight starts instead of over there. And so we would be on opposite sides of the room, and this way we're on the same side. So I can kill him more quickly. This guy right here has an assault rifle grenade. As you can see, the number on the bottom right there increased from 2 to 3. That's my assault rifle count. So now I have all my 3 assault rifles I need for the next level, and I won't have to pick up any here. This is the grenade I picked up earlier that I pointed out. I use it to kill these guys pretty easily. If you don't pick it up, you can just pick up one of the ones that's on the way here, but it's less convenient. So yeah, before I used to always go on top of the roof here of this thing I hook jump towards you, but now I don't have to anymore. Trying to hit the button, but I couldn't, because I was standing on top of it, which I learned this run, that you can't do that just standing on it. So yeah, since I didn't have to pick up those assault rifle nades, I have 3 times if here now. These are dolphin jumps, by the way, that's what I mentioned earlier. You use a wall to, like, basically jump like a dolphin. The game, like, you try to jump out of the water and onto this ledge, like the game tries to do that, but you, since it's too high, you just fall in the water again and you gain speed this way. Yeah, save time on sabotage despite having trouble with that button. Okay, so here I use the assault rifle nades. I kill all the enemies in this room quickly. Normally that first nade needs a setup, but I decided to skip it. And I failed to kill the enemy because of it. And the reason I even went for that is because the day before this I actually did IL runs of this level. And I had a really high success rate with doing that without setup. So I decided to just try it in this run, and sadly it didn't work out. I had like a 70% success rate, and doing it without setup saves probably like 2 seconds. But alas, it was not to be. Also, while doing IL runs, I hit that nade with like some really weird angles that really shouldn't have worked. So maybe there's a better setup to be found, because in my experience the setup isn't completely reliable. Like I still miss it a lot of times because whatever. It's just a minor detail. I won't bother explaining it for like 2 minutes. Yeah, so that chopper fight is RNG because you can't really predict how it moves, and each time you miss a rocket you lose like 3 seconds. But in this case I didn't miss any rockets, so hooray for me.
El general Carrington me dijo que tenía un regalo para mí.
So yeah, except for that huge mistake at the beginning, this level was pretty good. And so I even saved time. Wow. What a gamer. New strat here that's more consistent than the old one. We used to just hope that she follows us, but someone realized, I think it was Timur, shouts to Timur, that she will always follow us if we just like walk closer to her. So yeah, we need her to follow us because if we kill her in the spot where she is in the beginning, then another guard will notice her body. And if she follows us and we kill her in the washing room, then that guard won't be there. And also we get to pick up a minigun from another enemy. Yeah, this is what I meant earlier by it being the last cutscene where you can leave your computer. Because in this cutscene I constantly have to follow Winslow with my mouse. This cutscene is... I think this cutscene was pretty fun casually, but it's very annoying in the speedrun. Because you just like have to wait and like move the mouse, and if you accidentally like hit mouse 1 or something, then yeah, the mission fails and you just have to basically reset because you can lose like a minute or 2 minutes. Can you lose 2 minutes? Where's the checkpoint? Is there a checkpoint? No, there's a checkpoint for the Winslow fight. Yeah, you can lose like 2 minutes because of this cutscene if you're an idiot. So here I lost time because I started moving backwards a bit too late. Should have started walking backwards a bit earlier. Okay, so right here I get to pick up this guy's revolver, which I usually don't. And at this point I decide that I will use this revolver on the second boss fight in this level. Because I think it has potential to be faster, and this was just a convenient excuse to test it. So we'll see whether or not that works out. First, let's go Winslow. Didn't have to do it during the fight, so that was good. Okay. So let's see, what is this guy called again? I always forget. This guy's called Willard. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so as you can see, those 3 bullets did almost half his health. And yeah, that was a pretty quick kill. But I'm not sure if it was faster than killing him with a minigun. I think it has potential to be faster, but yeah, I don't know. You would have to go out of your way to pick up that extra revolver if you wanted to do that consistently in runs. So yeah. And also if he like moves, then you could easily miss, and that could cause issues. It's definitely good for IL runs, but I wouldn't consistently go for it in full game runs at least. I need to pick up this AK for later. If you miss it, then that causes a lot of issues. We definitely need it. We need to pick one up at some point, and that one is probably the fastest. Actually, this one... Actually, that one could be faster now that I think about it. Wow. Huh. Because I would have only needed to wait like half a second or so to pick that up. And I would have also gotten armor, but that armor doesn't matter. Like, the thing about the guys at the well is we recently realized that we don't technically have to kill them. Because even though they will like trigger the alarm, as soon as we like hit the checkpoint, they just despawn. So I could just like run past those two guys the way it's done in ILs, and then pick up the AK from that other guy. Wow, I just figured out a strat while doing commentary. Aren't I the most smartest team player? Wow.
Y usted sabe que el anonimato es mejor guardaespaldas que un ejército entero. Las instrucciones estaban claras.
I can already hear Daftos typing. No, I found that strat. No, I didn't. By the way, I think I was actually not on best place ever before this level. And now I am again. Because I actually had a run that was, I think, slightly faster than this. But then I lost it on Senko 1 of all places. Also, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, I managed to do that beginning part without having to reset at the checkpoint. And now I forgot to use the crossbow on those two guys, which would have saved me a bit of extra time. Because with the crossbow you can shoot them more quickly than with knives. By the way, like for the entire second half of this run I was super nervous. So yeah, it's easy to forget something like that if you're nervous. On a level you play it rarely. Also, I shot both of these guys. Also, that arrow went straight through him. Because I didn't know which one was the one that I actually have to shoot. So I just decided to shoot both. One of those guys can't actually trigger the alarm for some reason. Yes, I think you have to shoot the one with the brown hair, but I'm still not sure. This level is like the only level in late game, except for like SSH1A I guess, that I like never practice. And if I do practice it, I only do the cutscene of stuff at the beginning. This level on the other hand I did practice quite a bit because we skipped an extra medkit here now. And so I needed to make sure that I don't die. And also I need to make sure that I do the ending part quickly. Recently I was wondering, wait, why do I actually kill that lady? Like, can I just run past her? The damage doesn't matter. And then she just hit the alarm and I was like, oh. That was pretty funny. I wish I could stream because then people could have just laughed at me.
En menos de 24 horas se habrá formado el nuevo gobierno. Celebremos por adelantado el éxito de nuestra gran empresa y el nacimiento de una nueva era.
By the way, let us rejoice in advance at the success of our enterprise and duly celebrate the dawn of a new era is my favorite line from this game, like by far. I really like it. Okay, so yeah, this drop is really easy to set up because you just pay attention to the ceiling, which is what I was trying to explain earlier. Yeah, this fight I practiced a lot, and then I got lucky here with killing that guy so quickly. That usually doesn't happen. Yeah, and so I'm in pretty good pace for the next level. And gold! Yeah, this wasn't the fake gold. I just really, in reality, I just tied my gold on that level. So yeah, now I'm 20 seconds ahead, which means it looks like on pace for 125 potentially. Man, what a good run. I was gonna say something else. So yeah, that fight on that last level is why I definitely need the AK, because that's just a lot. I'm pretty sure it's like way faster with the AK than with any other weapon. Because you have to like shoot those enemies quickly, which I... Actually, you might be able to do that with a crossbow if you like no scope, but that just seems outside of the pause for effect scope of a full game run. And with the miniguns you wouldn't be accurate enough to kill the guy on top quickly. So yeah, here I failed to kill this helicopter immediately, which lost me a bunch of time, and this one also. So that was pretty unfortunate. I don't think that ever happened to me during practice, when I practiced that stretch. Shame it had to happen on this run. I don't even think my aim was terribly off, but I also didn't pay attention to it. It didn't really feel like it was off while I was playing, but also I was super nervous, so yeah. This is another long cutscene where I have to constantly move because I have to follow Sharon.
La delegación del senador Sheridan acaba de llegar. Bien, señor presidente. El consejero del presidente le recibirá.
I actually did AL runs of this level recently. I don't think I uploaded that AL publicly. I think it's unlisted. You can, by the way, on my YouTube like channel page, you can find my playlist of 39 ALs. Most of them are like complete garbage and completely unoptimized, but some of them are actually good. You can tell the ones that are good from the ones that are bad by looking at the title. The ones that just show full seconds are the old ones, and the ones that have like decimals are the new ones that are actually like good, where like actually tried. I just went through all the levels once to and made AL runs to make sure that there are actually times on the leaderboard per level. Yeah, this cutscene is often used for just Fuck, I forgot the word I was gonna say. God damn it. I can't believe I've been commentating for over an hour at this point. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing this. I think I'm gonna do this more often in the future. Who knows, maybe I'll even get a guest, but I mean, if I have to get a guest, then I will have to first upload the uncommented run to like YouTube or something. And that will take me like several hours, and then I will have to upload the commentated version also, which will then take another several hours, so I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, during else I realized that I can start moving a lot earlier than I thought I could. So that's what I did there. I'm not even sure if it actually saved time because I just grabbed the chair so late. But yeah. Don't need to knock out this guy because he just despawns when I hit the elevator button. So he doesn't trigger the alarm. Missed the gesture on the elevator, sadly. You can like press the elevator button before it locks itself and save like a second. But this guy, it didn't happen. This guy noticed me way too late for some reason. I don't think I was close enough to him. So that cost me a bit of time. Also, I had to actually stop to hit him. Because, like doing else, I just like ran past him and hit him without stopping. But I got a dead run here, and I missed him on that run while not stopping, so I decided to stop on this one.
Le recuerdo que forma parte del Comité de Presupuestos del Congreso. Eso le da derecho a ver en qué gastamos el dinero de los contribuyentes.
Pues ha elegido el peor momento para hacerlo.
Calvin, ¿dónde están mis guardaespaldas?
In this cutscene skip, you can actually like get spotted by them, and then you like lose 40 seconds if that happens. It has happened to me a few times at this point. Luckily, actually one time it killed a good run, but not recently. That was slow movement also. We could have been a lot more quick in the, lot quicker in that start room. Here we have another boss fight. We just give him 2 bullets to the face and then shoot an ace. Now we have the only place in the run where we move the body. That's because wait, you need to carry his body to trigger a bunch of to hit a bunch of triggers, I guess I should say, to which are required to finish the level. So we just do the basic loop of putting him on the ground and picking it up again, which actually did quite well here, I would say. But because the movement in the beginning was so sloppy, I, spoiler alert, didn't manage to gold anyway. Dude, my gold on this level is actually like so good, it feels like. And this is also my oldest gold. It's actually from my PB that was 127. So it's like 9 months old at this point. This gold, but it's actually kind of crazy. And that was quick too. Sometimes he like chills at the door. It doesn't start that dialogue immediately, but in this case he did instantly. So I thought I was probably even gonna go with this. And then when I got here, I lost like a second to gold. I was like, what? That was so good. How did I lose a second? Yeah. In retrospect, I lost a second there because, well, one of the bad movement, and also because of the key when I opened that one door after the first boss fight. And by first boss fight, I mean the only boss fight in that level. In this case, in this part we need to activate the dialogue as quickly as possible while still killing all the enemies. The enemies have to all be dead after the dialogue. Like that voice line from those voice lines from him are finished. And I almost failed to kill that guy, but I managed to kill him with my last bullet to not lose any time. Usually he should have been dead from my RNA, but I missed him for some reason, which happens to me sometimes. I'm not sure if I started moving that too quickly. I may have actually picked that up with my mouse, but I'm not sure. I think I might have still been inside him. If you could figure that up with your mouse, it would be pretty cool to know. To now. Can't talk. Okay, let me know when you notice something weird.
sobrevivo a esto, me haré publicitaria.
Hey, Grim just added me on Steam. Shoutouts to Grim. Yeah, so you may have noticed that everything is just red, and normally this red light is supposed to like go on and off, but for some reason in this case it was just solid red the entire time. Not sure why, but I don't know. See, it's supposed to be like this, it like goes on, and then it goes off again. And then on and off again. But in that case it was just on the whole time. So yeah, now I'm -20 again, so you might think, wow, he's actually on pace for 125 again. But I would have to remind you of the comparison from the auto splitter, which splits earlier than the splits I'm running against. So I'm gonna lose 1.5 seconds on Lady B. Which is going to shit, what's the word? No, I can't think of the word. Here I put away the lockpick too early, which lost me time for no reason. I do that sometimes. I pick that first lock, and I think, okay, time to get the assault rifle, and then I'm like, oh, oops, another door. Okay, so here I'm going to shoot Mongoose during the cutscene, which is apparently possible, and I can actually damage him doing this, and that skips the first phase of the fight, saving about 20 seconds. Also, it makes it so his health bar doesn't show up.
Creí que los héroes no se escondían. Das pena. Creo que eso...
Well, I finally hit the assault rifle later Mongoose. In a run, that is. He used to always be on the right before we did that new strat, but now he's on the left always, so I have to get used to that.
Gracias a Dios. Estás vivo. Vamos, hay que salir echando leches de aquí.
Enhorabuena, hijo. Eres un héroe. ¿Cómo se siente, Wally?
¿Ya ha terminado todo? ¿De verdad?
Is it already
Ya
over?
lo creo.
Not yet. Sorry, dude. Okay, yeah, so am I happy with this run? Well, thing is, I would tell you how happy I am with this run, but actually, after I finished this run, I unmuted myself and I gave my thoughts on the run, like going through the splits as I usually do. So you're gonna get to hear past me explain in great detail how good this run is. Or how not good this run is. After it's over. He is gonna mention a few things that I already said during this commentary, but yeah. I guess the short version is that I am going to keep going for now and try to get a 125 because this run is so close to getting one. I mean, you already know the final time, so since it's in the title. Yeah, I think there's easily potential to save another 3 seconds. Especially with that new Sanctuary strat I came up with. Big brain. Actually, that strat isn't gonna save that much. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do these post commentaries more in the future. I actually really enjoyed this. These 1.5 hours really just flew by. And I'm also pretty happy with the amount of talk. I don't think there was any dead air. I guess on some parts there was dead air for a little while at the end. But yeah. Okay, well, goodbye. See you probably when I get the 125. Or on some other random video. Bye.
Oh yeah!
Oof. Oh, what a run, dude. Like, the only bad thing about that run was, Kello 2. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so Beach was, yeah, I think I can save like a second on Beach. Winterbank was really good. FBI was average. Roof was really good. Everett was really good in general. Nothing to complain about there. I guess 05 could have been a bit faster, but whatever. Yeah, Keller 1 was perfect. Lost 16 seconds on Keller 2, sadly. Yeah, Pirko 1 was really good. Dude, Johansson. That guy just fucking spun around me for no reason. Like, I wasn't moving, and he just, like, rotated around me by, like, 90 degrees. How am I supposed to hit him like that? Like, I have to hit, like, every shot, and then he just, like, dodges like the greatest online gamer of all time. So yeah, that's why I lost 3 seconds there. Lost 2 seconds on Canyon 01 because... Okay, so at the start of Canyon 01, I have to immediately switch to the hookshot, but sometimes that takes one press of the weapon switch button, and sometimes it takes 2. And usually I always go for 2 and it's wrong. So this time I decided to only press it once, and that was still wrong. And I have no idea how to tell how many times I'm supposed to press that button there. Cannon 2 was really good. Spats 01 was pretty good. Spats 02 also. Spats 03 was good. But yeah, last time on the sub base. Sub 1 was good. Sub 2 was pretty good. Oh, okay, yeah, I lost time on sub 2 because Albright blocked the door, which I can't do anything about, sadly, as far as I know. Sometimes he just blocks the door, and sometimes he just stays where he is, and you can just run at him and shoot him. So yeah, that's unlucky. Sabotage, I lost some time because I couldn't hit the button because I was on top of it. I didn't actually know that the reason I sometimes can't hit just because I'm on top of it. I guess now I know how to avoid that in the future. On Quay, okay, so on Quay I went for the setupless AR nades at the beginning, and you may think that was really stupid, but I did that during IELTS obviously, and I just did IELTS of that level like yesterday. Oh yeah, I think it actually was yesterday, and I had like more than a 50% success rate with that, like probably like 70% success rate, and it saves like 2 seconds or so if I hit it. I think I might have actually a higher success rate without setup than with setup, and that just kind of shows that either I don't understand the setup or the setup is really not good. Like, I've been hitting that with some really weird angles, so there might be a better setup to be found somewhere. Hotel. Okay, so on Hotel I decided to... Okay, so I had an extra revolver, which I usually don't get. And I thought, since the revolver does so much damage to... What's his name? The last guy that you kill. What's his name? God damn it. I think he's number 7. So yeah, the last guy you fight on Hotel, the revolver does like an insane amount of damage to him. So I decided to try out whether it might be faster to kill him with a revolver like that, if you have an extra one. I'm not sure. I don't think. Maybe if my aim is like better and he doesn't move, it could be faster. So maybe it's like an IL strat or something. Not convinced I'll do that again in a run. Although I guess in this case my minigun ammo was pretty low. I only had like 1 magazine and 5 extra bullets. Yeah, actually I think I made the right call in that situation. Senko 1 was good. Okay, Senko 2, okay, I was really nervous during this, like the entire last half of this run. And I actually forgot which of the guys on Senko 2 I had to shoot at the end, so I just shot both of them. So that cost me like 2 seconds, I guess. Yeah, Senko 3 was really good. Senko 4, the lady kind of trolled me, but I don't think that lost me any time. I had a lot of levels in this run where at the beginning I was holding W but he wasn't moving, and I'm not sure what causes that. Kind of annoying, but yeah. So yeah, Senko. Oh yeah, Senko 4 also lost time at the end because that one helicopter didn't die from a magazine. Yeah. So that level can definitely be improved. SSH-1A, I lost time because the one guy that's supposed to like see me before he enters the locker room didn't spot me quickly enough. So that lost like I guess that lost the entire second that I lost on that level. SSH-1B, I lost time, I guess probably moving the body. I'm not sure where I lost time on that level. It must have been moving the body. Man, moving that body quickly is really hard. Maybe I should just like spend 10 minutes straight practicing that or something at some point. Also, I'm really glad that I practiced SSH-1 a bunch recently. Because without that I don't think I would have been able to do so well while this nervous. Yeah, SSH-1C was good. Mongoose. I don't remember how good Mongoose was. The thing about Mongoose was I knew if I wanted to get this get a 125 or at least have any chance of getting one, I would have to like go as quickly as humanly possible. But if I try to do that, then there's a pretty high chance that I will miss the strat, and if I miss the strat I wouldn't get a PB at all. So I did end up playing it safe. Yeah, the time loss here at the end, of course, is because of the different comparison from the auto splitter. Yeah, man, if I made like one less mistake in this, then this would have been the 125. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go for 125 right away after this. Maybe I'm gonna like do ILs first or something. But yeah, probably I'm gonna go for 125 right away. Because I know I can still improve this. I did lose 16 seconds on Killer 2. Man, that really was like the only major mistake in this. And by mistake, I mean unfortunate thing that happened. Because, I mean, like, losing time on Killer 2 like that isn't really a mistake, because you can't really do anything about it. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Last time my biggest time save on Killer 2 was probably on my 131.23. That was the last PB before I got world record for the first time. And I lost 40 seconds on Keller 2 in that run, and if I hadn't, then it would have been my first world record. That was really annoying. This is almost on the same level. Probably this is worse, because if I had only lost like 13 seconds instead of 16 seconds there, then I would have been able to take a long break from this category again. Damn. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and save these splits. Actually, it's good that I didn't get a 125 yet, because I would have continued playing until I got a sub 125 sum of best anyway. So I guess this gives me an excuse to continue. Alright, see you when I get a 125. Or I guess in an air run or something. We'll see. Bye.